you work on your bike by yourself, you might want to stay tuned because this product might just help you. What's up guys, and welcome back to the channel, and thanks for stopping by. Today we're going to be taking a look at a product called the Tire Wedge, and it's made by a company called Woodard Designs, and it's basically a 3D printed I guess kind of a piece of plastic, two pieces. When it comes to you, it's separated, and then you go ahead and you kind of slide this on, and I'll explain why they did it this way. But basically what this does is it solves the problem of you making adjustments to your rear wheel and having to hold the wheel. You know how we've done it in the past is where, you know, if you're working on your bike by yourself, you're holding the wheel with one hand, and then you're using your wrench and trying to kind of tighten it on this side, and then when you get kind of this one a little tight, then you got to kind of switch hands and then use the other side. Sometimes that works. I mean, we've been doing it that way for years. That's how Bernie and I used to do it back in the day when we worked on our bikes using the crescent wrench. That was my favorite tool back then. But what this product does is it allows you to kind of slide this wedge in between the frame and the tire, and you can kind of wedge it in there and kind of get it snug to the distance that you want your wheel to be to kind of keep your chain nice and tight, and then you can just go ahead and then just tighten this. So we're going to see how well it works today. So let's check it out. All right, so if you guys have worked on your bike before, this is the all too familiar scene of, you know, when you're trying to kind of like make adjustments to your rear wheel. And let's try and loosen this up so that you can kind of see. So, you know, let's say you're making an adjustment and you want to get your wheel straight. You know, back in the day, this is what we would do, right? You would hold it with one hand, kind of eyeball it, kind of feel how your chain is, and then kind of like make your adjustment. You know, you would have to kind of try and hold it straight and use your hand to kind of like get it in the right spot, right? And then when you want to make an adjustment to the other side, you're gonna have to like hold that and then do that. But then your chain's pretty good here, but then I don't know if you can kind of see, but this space is much smaller than this space right here. Yeah, you can kind of see, definitely I did not line that up correctly. So what this tool aims to do is to kind of act as a wedge so that this can go between your tire and your frame, and then that way you can kind of like wedge it in there, hold it tight, and then everything's straight. So we're going to try that out and see how that goes. So let's loosen this back up again. And the reason this thing has kind of like two pieces is so that you can kind of adjust this for the wedge, right? So you can kind of see, you know, this way you're going to be able to fit it into the tire a little bit more, and then you can use this to kind of make it tight. So let's see how this works here. So we're going to kind of like put that in there and kind of wedge it in. Try to make this as straight as possible. And then see that that's a pretty tight chain right there. I might come back a little bit just to kind of make it not quite as tight. And then now I'm just gonna cinch. See, so right now, as you can kind of see, it's pretty in there. And all I got to do now is do this. I don't have to hold a tire. I can just kind of do that. Take out the wedge. I still got my tightness on my chain, and that's pretty straight, right? That's how easy it is. I mean, it's basically just getting this down into the frame itself, making that adjustment to see how tight you want your chain, and just to make sure everything is lined up. Pop this out, and everything's nice and straight. I mean, I do have kind of a crooked wheel where the tire's a little bit off over there. So as you can see, the tire wedge does work. It really makes it easy for you to just by yourself make adjustments on your tire, get it lined up perfectly straight in the right tension for your chain, and it's a really simple process. So I think they've done a really good job to kind of solve that problem of, you know, getting your tire in the right spot. Now, do you need it? No, you could still do it the old-fashioned way, use your hands, but it does only cost 30 bucks or 35 depending upon the style and the colors that they use. But I think this is a tool that I'll keep and I'll definitely use anytime I'm working by myself, because it does make it easier, and that's what we're trying to do, right? Make our lives a little bit easier. So if you're interested, check them out at wooderdesigns.com. I'll have a link in the description below. And if you stuck around this long, thank you so much for watching. Consider liking and subscribing, and we'll see you in the next one. Until then, take care of one another, be safe, and aloha.